How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, back with a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to be covering a little bit of a theory, or actually two theories in one video. I thought we'd do them both in one because it would just be a little bit too complicated to go through them individually, but I thought we'd go through them like this. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you do enjoy this video, then drop a like down below. It'd be pretty, definitely appreciated. Also, for anybody who wants to go the extra mile, we have opened up a Patreon in case YouTube decides to be like, hey, haha, something's going to happen to your account or whatever, But my point is, if you want to check that out, please do. It'd be appreciated. Now, let's get into the actual theory, guys. Thank you to everybody who's been sending me stuff. Also, if I sound a little bit down today, today is not one of the best days in the world, so I'm a little bit not in, the hyper mode that I'm usually in, but we'll be back to normal soon, guys, don't you worry. But I still want to post videos for you guys because there's a bunch of stuff to go through, and honestly, keep, making videos just keeps me going and makes me, stay active instead of just, laying down my bed and just kind of sulking, so to say. But either way, let's get into the actual information, ladies and gentlemen, which is this right here. This was sent to me by Grookey is epic. So Grookey is epic sent this my way and said that, basically he's kind of been theorizing a little bit about the logo, thingamajiggy and the little weird thing from the trailer that we've seen. He's been theorizing about it. He's got a bit of a theory here. We got that, and we also got another thing here that's been sent to me by another individual, which we'll go through in a moment as well. So let's start with this one first here, though. So Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. What does the symbol mean? And here you of course see that you got the logos. Each one of them has a different kind of little specific aspect to it that's different for each one of them. In X and Y, you had the Mega Evolution logo. The Mega Evolution logo showed up right there. In Sun and Moon, you had the Z Crystal, right? The Z Crystals that you used to use Z moves, which was, the new gimmick for that game, was there. And now for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, we have this logo, which you guys have seen probably a million freaking times at this point, most likely, I assume. You've probably seen this a lot of times, and you know that these have been around for a while now, and people are all speculating what this could mean. And Grookey is epic here, continues saying that the symbol is the key to figure out what the big thing is in these games will be. It's plastered all over the gyms, and it's even on the protagonist's uniform as he enters the stadium. People are saying it's likely to be some kind of soccer thing, and that's what I was also thinking. There's a potential there could be that, but I think it's something else, and I'll tell my own theory once we get down here through this. I will say something that I want to, a theory of mine. But why would there be soccer in Pokemon? Well, that's a good question, and the answer is that it's not soccer. It's something else, and we have seen it before. And I actually know what this is as well. It's actually something from the anime, or from the anime movies. One of my favorite Pokemon movies is Pokemon Zoroark, Master of Illusions, and there is something I remembered about that movie when I saw the stadium. Alright, Ash and company are watching a sports game on TV, but not just any sports game, a BACCER match, okay? BACCER was a pretty key point of the movie, being where the villain was using Zoroark to project the shiny dogs as the Nimbasa legends. And here's a clip from the movie showing off the BACCER match, best I could find. Now, I can't show you the match, guys, due to YouTube copyright issues. I cannot show you that. I actually am not allowed to. I think images are fine, but, I can't show you the actual clip. I will link this whole thread down, by the way, guys. I'll link this thread, and you can watch this clip on your own. I'm not allowed to show this on video because this is against copyright, reasons and all that shit, so I can't do that. But if you want to watch it, I'm going to link the thread down below, so you can check it out down there, guys. Either way, let's continue, shall we? The BACCER match was also held in a huge stadium, such as the one in the trailer, picked from my TV. You go right there, the giant stadium. True. Now, also, another thing, there are signs around, there are the signs around the stadium. These signs right here, I mean, you notice something with these signs, guys. Look at that. It's blue and red. Blue and red. Very strange. And look right here, okay? This is the battlefield of the match. Looks exactly like the symbol before, huh? You got right there. Blue, red. What do you have right here? Same design, right? It goes up and down, around and around. Round and round and round we go. And the same thing here. Go blue design, red design popping up on the top. Really similar. There's also a BACCER World Cup held in Crown City, okay? Now, let me be honest. The name of that city being Crown City makes me feel like this is something like this, UK-based Pokemon game, aka Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, aka the game based in Galar region. It feels like this has been planned for a long time, and Pokemon does plan ahead by a long stretch. I mean, you might assume they don't, but they do. They actually plan their stories and stuff ahead by a long way. And the fact that this city in the movie is called Crown City, just so strange, dude. But yeah, so you got it right there, Crown City, which is interesting. Then another similarity is that the dome of the stadium is open, just like in the movies. And right there, you see the same thing, but that's also something very football-y. It's done a lot in football. I do also am confused as to why you have a literal soccer outfit on you. That's what soccer outfits look like, especially the long sleeve and the glove. Usually during winter, you have long sleeved shirts in football when you play it. And I'm talking about the thing that Americans refer to as soccer, but football for me. This is what you have usually during winter time. You got gloves gloves usually on. Not all of them have gloves, but sometimes the players will have gloves on if it's really cold. And then they have long sleeve shirts like this, which is interesting. And also 227, of course, was because that was the day the games got announced. But also 227 is also Scorbunny, and Scorbunny is the armored Pokemon. So there could be a bit of a hint towards armored Pokemon-esque type deals happening in the future. You never know. It's all it's all theory and speculation, if you know what I mean. And right here you can see BACCER here, the sport being played. I got Elekid right up there. So yeah. Thanks for going to my TED Talk, dude. All good, mate. All good, dude. This is actually a really cool theory. So I'm going to add something in real quick here, right? I don't think this means that we're going to be getting the BACCER sport here, that we're going to be playing it like this, or that's what, these new stadiums mean. I think what is going to happen is we're going to get some sort of new feature, and I'm starting to think maybe it could be fusion. It probably sounds weird, right? But, like, this symbol gives me the feeling of, like, when something fuses together. That's the feeling I get when I see it. And also, fusion has been more and more prominent in Pokemon the more you look at it from, different perspectives. It's been more and more prevalent. And also, so far, when you look at stuff that we've seen, in terms of features, it seems like, we've got Mega Evolutions, which is like this temporary evolution. We've seen fusions with only a few Pokemon, like Kyurem, etc. So why wouldn't they expand upon that, a bit further and add some sort of new fusion type thing? I mean, maybe like fusing, like Aegislash with like Lucario, something like that, right? Could be a possibly cool thing to do. But again, that's maybe a possibility. But I think the also more likely thing here is that this just is going to be a new format for the battles in, inside of the stadiums. I think the way we're going to do the battles, in the stadiums, are going to be far different from our normal gym battles, right? I think that there's going to be some sort of, maybe rotation format to it, or the way you play it is maybe a little bit more interactive. I mean, there's going to be some major difference here, but I just can't pinpoint in my head what it could be. It could end up being something like the BACCER here, and how that sport works. It could be like that, and that's how the gyms have this extra layer of, difference and uniqueness to them, right? Besides just being simple, straight up battles. But if you do compare the ground here, it looks pretty flat, right? The area looks pretty flat, whereas if you look at this one, this one's like bulging around the sides. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit like, it's like this, it isn't actually like a flat-lined surface. It's very much like bent around. And of course, you have the logo in the middle, kind of like sticking in and out, which is very much like this logo. They look identical, I'm going to be honest. So you got that. So straight up, to me, this seems like a very plausible theory. I don't see an issue with it whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, definitely, dude, awesome little theory. I appreciate this, man. Thank you for the research. Thank you for sending it my way. I was going to cover this, at a different point anyways, because I have some other research for this, but I couldn't find that in my documents yet, so I'll cover that at a different time, maybe, if you guys want to see that, of course. But either way, next thing on our agenda here is a different little theory here, which was sent to me by Sam Parsons. So here's what he had, a little bit of a prediction for the starter evolutions, which I thought would be worthwhile covering here. So I had some more ideas/predictions about the starter evolutions. Remember, this is just some very specific speculation and not a leak. Gotcha, mate. I believe/predict the following. The theme is entertainment. I think a lot of people have said that. Entertainment seems to be the theme. I mean, football player, theater, theater type thing, actor, etc., whatever, or like, drummer as well. Put them all with them. So Grookey will become a grass ground, a great ape based off of a Gigantopithecus. Jeez, that was a hard name. A real prehistoric ape that inspired the Bigfoot/Sasquatch myth, and a drummer. It makes sense because, the little, like, thing, the name also matches with Taiko in Japanese, and, like, the little, like, thing he has, little wood stick or whatever, looks like the sort of stick you use for Taiko, which is like a drumming type instrument type, I guess, like, type of music in Japan. Though a tribal drummer instead of a rock and roll one. Okay, fair enough. His sticks will become a club that he beats on the ground and creates vibrations/music. His theme is music. Makes sense. Actually does make sense. Scorbunny will become a fire/electric bipedal rabbit with an emphasis on speed and energy. He will be lean and athletic, but his theme will not be specifically soccer/football, rather athleticism in general. Soccer, football, track and field, gymnastics, fair enough. His primary stat will be speed. Fire typing is for obvious reasons, but also because it represents energy/passion/drive, and electricity because of energy and and to a greater extent, electrolytes, okay, which are required for the body to be able to exert itself and are lost through sweat. Fair enough. It's a weird point to bring up, but you're right about that. As a fire rabbit, he would sweat less if at all. Thus, he would have a build up of electrolytes. Fair enough. And Sobble will become a water psychic. Well, see, this is the thing, right? Do they match up well? Because, like, they need to, like, match against each other. Like, fire, grass, right, would make sense. Psychic, okay, so water, grass, that would need to be Okay, well, I mean, it's a little bit torn. I don't know. I don't have a prediction for this for his bodily form or appearance. His theme is theater. The sub part of it of Sobble doesn't just refer to his own timidness, but also to the theater genre of tragedy. As well as the theaters of sadness or even happiness of the audience. His psychic powers would make him able to both read, manipulate, and enhance emotions, which would make him a popular Pokemon amongst playwriters, actors, and directors, which are very popular in the, you got Shakespeare in the past, and you got nowadays as well, like a lot of playwrights there, and that sort of stuff. A lot of stuff originated from the UK, and that's, those sort of things. His psychic powers would also make him empathic, okay. Able to feel his emotions, which explains why he sobs. Sobble, fair enough. And even why he is shy, being around others overwhelms him with a storm of emotions. He has a minor psychic / emphatic powers, even before getting the psychic type. Think like how Psyduck has powerful psychic abilities even though he isn't a psychic type. True. It's a very bold prediction. What do you think? Could it work? And he also sent me this image right here, which was made by Fakemans, which, by the way, thank you, Fakemans, for making these awesome artworks, and kind of showing, like, what the general idea of, Grookey's evolution could look like, being this kind of Neanderthal-looking, monkey boy, which, I mean, I'm on board for this, dude. This is an amazing design, by the way. Like, genuinely, this is amazing. Really well made. I freaking love it. And shout out to Fakemans, by the way, because, honestly, I wouldn't mind him going to becoming, like, a straight-up, like, a dumb ape. It'll be pretty fun. But I do predict, rather, the more likely thing to happen is that he actually will be a female, big old, gorilla-esque, esque ape, so to say, or like, caveman type thing. I think it was going to be like a female one rather than a male one, because if you guys look at the, like, how they make Pokemon for each generation, the starter Pokemon, they tend to go in, like, a specific, pattern. They have a cool Pokemon always, they have a feminine Pokemon, and they have a big, bulky Pokemon, right? The cool Pokemon is usually sleek and thin and, like, really, like, sleek of a design. The feminine one just is the feminine-looking Pokemon, and the bulky one tends to be big and, rough. And now, if you look at the Pokemon games, from the previous years, in Generation 6 for X and Y, if you look at the Pokemon there, you had, you had Greninja being the water type, being the sleek and cool design that time, right? Then you had Delphox being, the kind of like the female, the feminine sort of, design. And then you had finally Chestnut, whatever, being the bulky big boy. Then you look at Generation 7, and that's where it changes. Instead of the fire type being, the feminine one, it was the water type, right? Primarina, etc. The cool Pokemon wasn't the water type like Greninja, but rather it was the cool Pokemon, the sleek Pokemon was the Decidueye, right? And then finally, the bulky big boy ended up being Incineroar instead of, Chestnut from the previous game. So, in basic terminology here, logically right now, this would be the next Pokemon, or the, Grookey's evolution should be the next Pokemon with a feminine design, the next Pokemon with a sleek design should be the fire type, and the next Pokemon with a bulky design should be the water type. So that's just kind of the way it matches up so far and how it's been doing for a long time, and they kind of tend to follow that kind of pattern of their own for the most part. But yeah, I just want to know your opinions though, guys, on this. What do you think about this? What do you think about the first theory, the second theory? What are your opinions? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys want to send me anything, just hit me up at RuffledRowlit@gmail.com. I'm trying to be available as much as I can. You can also hit me up on my Instagram account. You can DM me on Instagram. Just search up RuffledRowlit. Find me, DM me. I'm always trying to respond to everybody. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. I'll catch you all next time. Have yourselves a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.